Welcome back to DK After Dark, taking you behind the artists and how they pave their path and helping you pave yours. Today on the podcast, we have a very special guest. We have Swift with us, and we're actually doing a little in-person interview as well. So,
Yes, sir.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for being here. So, you know, um, kind of how we get into it, we're just going to go through a little bit of your backstory, talk about, kind of your whole journey, I guess, like how you grew up, anything that brought you to where you're at now, basically. So the floor is yours.
All right. My name is Swift with two eyes. A lot of people forget that. So
Can't forget those two eyes. In
yeah.
there.
I'm an independent artist. I've been making music for about 7 years now. Really started taking it serious a couple years ago though. What else could I talk about? So the music I like to make, I started out just strictly like rapping,
Right.
just like bars, but now I've been adding a little bit of a melodic twist to it. So
Okay.
singing a little bit, and that's something that I never really grew up around singing or anything like that. So
It's been a
that's
different
something,
experience to
yeah,
kind of get into.
yeah, that's something I've kind of had to explore myself. So it's been interesting. It's definitely been hard at times,
Right.
but it's getting easier every day, just doing it every day.
So, like, since you started 7 years ago, what was like kind of one of the first things that like brought you into wanting to like make your own music? Because I mean, like, there's lots of people who, I mean, they'll talk about, like, oh, I like, because I mean, I used to do this too, like freestyle the beats all the
Yeah,
time and stuff
yeah,
like that. Was it like, something like that or like,
yeah, kind of. So it actually started with two of my friends.
okay,
Shout out to Xander and Joey. So we started. I don't even know how it really happened, but one night we were just hanging out and we were bored and decided to make a song, and
right,
so that's how it kind of started. And then we made couple more after that, and then I kind of veered into my own direction. I found the interest in just making music, and I enjoyed doing it.
hmm.
So yeah, I kind of went into my own direction and took it further, I guess.
So when you guys started, did you like start under like a different, I don't know, like, did you have like a group name or something like that,
Yeah,
or like
it
how
was
did it go?
called Black Eyes.
Black Eyes,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And how many? You said three songs that you put out,
I
right?
think I'm trying to think. I think we made like three. I think we only put out two.
Two.
Yeah.
What
As
happened
a
to the third one? Just it wasn't. It didn't
Yeah,
make the
yeah, I
cut.
didn't make the cut, I think. I think it's still out there on my computer somewhere, my
Right.
old computer, so
Ever thinking about bringing that thing back?
no, probably not. Just leave it in the past, I guess, but it was good while it lasted.
Right. So like while you were doing that, like how do you feel like kind of looking back like on the songs now? Because I mean, for me, God, I hate like listening to my old songs sometimes because it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, bro, what was I even
Yeah,
saying in that?
no, 100%. I mean, it was definitely it wasn't too bad. Like
Right.
it had some structure, but yeah, the stuff we were saying was pretty wild. We didn't even know what we were talking about, so and we didn't think that like anybody would hear it, but a lot of people did, and now looking back at it, it's pretty embarrassing, but it's something that we do when we're young, so
Right. You gotta live a little bit,
yeah.
experiment, and hey, if it didn't happen, you might not be here today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's like all. I feel like it's all part of the journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of going back even a little bit before that, kind of like just tell us a little bit about your life. Like, did you have like, I don't know, like any crazy experiences growing up or anything like that that kind of like, made you in the end, like where you're at now, kind of like want to like express yourself and like tell other people like about your story.
Um, Not really anything that I can think of, like anything major.
Yeah.
Just growing up, I've always been attracted to like the the music scene, I
Yeah.
guess, and the people in it. So just growing up around that, growing up around like hip hop and stuff, I
Right.
just felt felt like it was a way for myself to just be free in a sense, you know, express myself in that way.
100%.
So I'm trying to think. I don't know. Just as a kid, like I was uh I was always super creative with like anything I did, so
Right.
I feel like that definitely is carried over
Were
into
you kind of like
today.
a more of like a head in the clouds instead of like, daydreaming and shit instead of,
Yeah,
being like
yeah,
more grounded or whatever?
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I've always liked art, just even just like drawing pictures and stuff like that, like
Right.
being able to create something and show it off a little bit. So I feel like that's, yeah, like I said before, that's definitely carried over
Okay.
into today's.
So after, you had your little rap group, um, Black Ice, right?
Yep.
And then how long did it take for you to kind of like start doing like your own thing? Like, did you start doing it like immediately, kind of like after that, or
Yeah, I think it was pretty immediate
pretty immediate?
after that. So yeah, I started up my own page and it was Swift Venom 4. That was my first name and then I cut off the Venom part.
Venom. Any
Really
reason?
had
Just
no
like,
really had no reason for that. I can't explain it, but I decided to roll with the Swift thing just
right.
because I don't know, it's easy to catch on to and easy to remember, I guess.
It rolls off the tongue. I feel like
Yeah, yeah.
I've always thought like the best like artist names are either like 1 to 2 syllables,
Yeah,
like not
yeah.
like anything crazy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the more complicated you get, I feel like the harder it is to remember.
Yeah, 100%.
So after you kind of like dropped the Venom off your
Yeah,
Swift,
yeah.
um, you started making music like right after that. So did you kind of go like back to back to back with songs, or was it kind of like
Yeah, it was like a bunch of singles right
okay,
after that. So the first one that I posted, it got like I think it's at like 80,000 some
oh
plays on
damn, okay,
SoundCloud right now. So
that's pretty good,
yeah, it's still I think it's my most streamed one
mm.
still, and that's, you know, my first song on that page. So that was pretty cool to see.
What's the title of that one?
It's 10 Toes Down,
Ten
so it
Toes
was
Down.
like a remix to
Okay,
that. You know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
that beat? Yeah. So I did a remix to that and there was no marketing or anything for it. I just
right.
put it out there and it organically started growing and it was pretty cool to see that. So
Especially for like not really marketing or anything. That is like
yeah.
really good,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
And I don't really know what did it. I think it was just good timing, like
Mm,
during that SoundCloud era,
right.
where there was like a algorithm that was always pushing new artists out.
Because when did you put that one out? It was like I was
2017,
gonna
I
say like
think. Yep,
2017,
yep.
2016. So that's like
Hmm.
I feel like that was really the peak of SoundCloud. Like there was so many people that were like,
Yeah,
because that was like I mean like kind of around the time when like X and Juice
yep,
and like
yep,
Peep were all huge on SoundCloud.
yep. And that was, I think that was probably definitely the turning point where I was like, okay, maybe I should take this serious.
Right.
And so yeah, after seeing that, it was definitely a motivator to keep doing it, keep making music.
So after, obviously, you would have been pretty young putting it
Yeah,
out in like 2016 or
yeah.
2017. So, did you kind of wait a while for your next single after that, or did you kind of just go like right into it?
I think it was a couple months
A
at
couple
least.
months.
I definitely started making it like right after that, but it
Right,
took me a couple months to put it out there.
right.
And that one did pretty good too. I think it has like 17,000 or
Okay.
something on it. So, yeah.
Both of those together is basically like the size of our entire city.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
insane to think about,
Yeah, it
honestly.
is. It
Uh,
is.
so like kind of through that whole time, how many songs then did you put out? Because I'd say like I don't want to like label it as like an era or anything like that, but I feel like now like your music has kind of transitioned, like you said, like into a different,
Yeah.
like not obviously not completely different, but it's like a different, adding in different elements. Like
Yeah,
you can
for
tell that you've
sure.
like grown as an artist and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So like kind of when do you feel like was like the shift into kind of like your new like stage and like when you really like because you said yeah that's like kind of when I started taking it seriously, so like kind of did you start like songwriting with other people at that point, like start building your studio? Because we're actually sitting in Swift studio right
Yes,
now
sir.
recording this. So did you kind of like start getting all that shit together?
Um, so I guess the turning point for that, trying to think. So we moved into I moved into this place
Mm,
in 2020, I think it
2020.
was. So that's when I got everything set up here. Um, and I was still kind of doing like the rap stuff
Right.
then too. Um, but no, just over like the last year, honestly, I think what did it for me was just opening my ear to other music
Hmm.
instead, because like before I felt like I was just listening to rap,
Right.
stuff like that, and just opening my ear to other music, and it allowed me to get inspired by different things. So, yeah, it just inspired me to grow as an artist
Right.
and explore my voice a little bit, cuz which was a thing that I never knew I could do,
Right.
is sing. So,
Give yourself a little what's the word? Like a little new like a skill set that you get to start like
yeah.
flexing in like your
Yeah.
in your songs and stuff. Um I think that is like perfect to like say because I feel like I mean I definitely do that like kind of same sort of thing where I get into like like a mode where I'm making like this genre or like whatever, and so I
Yeah.
only listen to that,
Yeah.
and then like I feel like you kind of lose like the plot almost,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
kind of just are going um for the sound of a genre versus the sound for
Yeah.
yourself, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, that's definitely something I've struggled with for sure.
Hmm.
Like lately, I feel like it's been hard for me to make new stuff, but um yeah, I definitely know what you're saying
So like
though.
what have been some of the challenges that you've kind of been like getting into recently like with that? Because I definitely understand that like
Yeah,
100%.
it's just like finding different things to write about, I guess, and
Right.
make music about. I mean, once you make so much of it, you kind of get a little burnt out, and it's
Hmm.
like, okay, what's next? Another challenge, I would say, just like marketing wise and putting myself out there, has
Right.
definitely been a challenge, especially like being from around here.
Right.
Um, it's a little hard, but I'm definitely still trying every day. So
Yeah, if you guys, I think I've mentioned this before, but like the place that we live at is in literally like it's in North Dakota, which is literally like if you're looking at the map, all the way fucking next to the Canadian border,
yeah,
and there's like really nothing.
yeah,
There's really nothing
yeah,
here for like the music scene or like if you're really, trying to make it as like an artist or anything
hmm,
like that. It's kind of just absolutely insane to say the
yeah,
least.
yeah.
So like kind of when you're like writing or like where do you usually find like that like spark of inspiration? Like do you usually start with like like a title or like like a set of like a line or anything like that?
So yeah, that's something that I've recently been doing. So I'll like go in with my notes, and I'll just make a bunch of titles. So
Right.
like think of a bunch of topics, kind of just brainstorming, and just lay them out in my notes like throughout the day. And then once I get to the studio later, then I'll look through some beats and see if I can write anything to those topics.
Okay.
And before, it was never really like that. I would always just try to find the beat first and then kind of build off of that.
Right.
But that's just something that I picked up over the last year probably. And it just all depends. Like sometimes I find the beat first and then I
Right.
just see what I can do with it. But yeah, it just depends.
It's like I it's almost like when you find like when you hear like a beat or a melody or something, you're like,
Mhm.
yeah, that I want to write
Yeah.
something to that,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
versus like, yeah, I've got this blah blah blah. Now I got to find something to make
Yeah.
like fit it into almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's kind of hard, but you definitely find challenges with both ways.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it all just depends, I guess.
Do you usually like when you're writing your lyrics, you kind of do like a one shot and then you're done, or do you like to go back and like kind of edit through your um like what you've written like once you've done it? Because I know like me personally, I kind of like write it and go through, but I know like some people go back through and they'll literally edit every single line to like
Yeah,
make it more.
yeah, I'm definitely like a perfectionist. So
Hmm.
um, usually I'll take more time like writing it on the
Right.
spot than having to go back and do it. So like I usually don't cycle through it all right away and
Right.
then go back and edit things. It usually just takes me a lot of time to get it in the first place. So it just takes me a lot of time to think, and yeah, like I said, I'm a perfectionist, so
Really like getting those fucking
yeah,
lyrics down to a
yeah,
T.
yeah. Like every little thing, I swear.
Hmm.
It's like
Do you like to like keep a journal at all or anything like that to like I don't know, just like any thoughts like throughout the day or like you do that in your notes app
yeah, I
as
do
well?
that in my notes too.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, any thoughts or like phrases that
Right.
come to my head throughout the day, I'll usually throw them in my notes. And like melodies that come to my head, I'll use like the voice memos thing on
Yep.
my phone for that. So if I get a catchy melody that comes to my head, I'll just put it in there.
100%. Yeah, guys, if you aren't using voice memos, you're sleeping
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Like, seriously,
For real.
I feel like I looked at my voice memos the other day and it's like 2 gigabytes worth of like shit in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like now I need to just actually use it instead of
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
leaving it there.
Yeah.
Um so kind of like in getting yourself, because I mean, personally, I feel like the thing that I'm like the worst at is like actually like sitting down to like get the stuff done. Do you have like a specific time that you do that every single day, or do you kind of just like to do, a big chunk of it all at once and then, like not do a little bit, kind of just not think about it or anything like that?
It all depends. I really don't know. I don't have a set time
No
for
set
anything.
time.
I just kind of come in here and see what I can do, and if it's not going well, I'll just leave and go
Yeah.
do something else, distract myself for a while.
Mhm.
But I mean, yeah, that's honestly something I've been struggling with lately. Like I feel like I'm just stuck in a spot where it's been
Right.
hard to create, but I know that every artist runs into that problem, for a period of time.
Hmm.
So,
I think there's like something like in the air because I feel like every person that I've talked to recently has like talked to me
yeah.
about like feeling really
Really?
like, yeah, like genuinely. The last couple of people that like I interviewed, they were talking about how like for a while they were kind of just doing like they would try and do like a little bit every day, and
Yeah.
I try and hold myself to that, but like I don't know, there's just like some days where I just don't want to do
I
anything,
know.
and then other days it's like, yeah, I could sit
Yeah.
here for like
Yeah.
3 hours,
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that. Like yesterday, I sat in here all day
right?
and like I could barely get anything out, but I couldn't leave. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's like it's the ideas in your head. It's just the fact of getting it out that's like so hard. I feel
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and
100%.
I don't know if you have this happen to you too, but I'll have like shit where I just like I can visualize it or like hear it in my head,
Oh,
but then
yeah.
like trying to get that down into
Mm-hmm.
like the DAW to like record or like whatever I'm trying to do,
Yeah.
like that's where the problem is. It's like
Yeah.
the translation, it almost gets
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah. 100% for me too. I overthink everything. So, like,
Right.
recording, like you said, just getting it down is like the hardest part for me. Like,
Hmm.
writing comes pretty easy to me, but yeah, that part I definitely struggle with.
Do you like to do like a bunch of recordings all at once and go back through them at the end, or you kind of like a record, let me listen to it, record, let me listen to it?
I kind of I record it in sections for
Right.
sure. Like I'll record a hook and then go back and do the verse, and yeah, I usually like to do my stuff like line by line too, so it does take a long time.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's actually I've never thought, because usually like I kind of like psycho record, but I never thought to record like line by line like that. That'd
Yeah,
be interesting, honestly,
it
to do.
is. Yeah, like I said before, I just need everything to be perfect, so like
Right.
yeah, doing it line by line just helps me cut it into sections,
Mhm.
and fix what I want to fix and then leave it if I think it's good and
Right.
move on to the next line.
Because then you don't have to, I mean, spend a bunch of time like jacking around with
Yeah,
like
yeah,
any of your plugins or anything that you got going on.
yep,
Honestly, it's good that you do that because I mean, I feel like in the end, because I mean, obviously you can accomplish like kind of the same idea like not doing that, but I feel like it does definitely sound more
yeah,
clean and
yeah,
polished in the end. Because I mean,
yep,
like even fucking like Billie Eilish, like God, where did I reach you? She'll record like some lines like literally like 72 times, like
yeah,
for just like
yeah.
one take.
No, I would be interested to see where my count is at. Like,
Right.
I'm honestly, I do the same thing. Like, I don't care how many takes it it takes to get it right. I'll
You're fucking getting
yeah, yeah,
it. So like kind of since we were talking about like marketing like a little bit earlier,
yeah.
kind of like what have you been doing for marketing? Like you have any like tips or anything like that that you'd like to share or anything?
So obviously just like TikTok and
Right.
stuff like that. So just organic push, and then I taught myself how to run Facebook ads
Okay.
too and Instagram ads. So I've been doing that. That's where I've noticed the most growth, but it's also expensive too
It is
to do
expensive.
that. So like what I'll do for each release, since I've just been releasing a lot of singles lately,
Right.
and usually it's like a 2 week period in between each single, so gives me enough time to get my marketing plan down
Yeah.
and do what I need to do. But I'll usually run ads for each song and give it a chance to grow as much as it can before the next one comes out. And I'll set a budget for whatever I think that song, whatever's best for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And whatever doesn't cost you like a fucking arm and a leg, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It
No,
does cost a lot, but it's definitely like an investment, all of it
100%.
is. So.
100%. Do you kind of like to post like across like each platform? Like do you have like a specific cycle that you do or anything like that? Or do you kind of just like to put like everything kind of on all of them at once, or if that makes sense?
Um, so are you just talking about like just like posting like
Or like even like yeah, for promotion, like do you like to like say like I don't know, like since you're doing a 2 week song release
yeah,
cycle, like let's say Monday you do on Facebook, then like Wednesday's
okay, I got
Instagram,
you.
or do you kind of do like every social is getting kind of like everything?
So usually whatever I post on my Instagram,
Right.
is gonna go on like my Snapchat story too.
Okay.
Um, and then TikTok, I just kind of post. It kind of has its own.
Bro,
Yeah, it's
I don't even know.
TikTok's
I'm gonna be
different.
so
It's
for
kind
real.
of
Like I know that TikTok is like actually theoretically the best one
yeah,
to like
yeah.
algorithm wise, but I don't fucking
I
understand how
don't
to use
either, bro.
TikTok, bro. Like
It's been
I don't get it.
I don't either. Like I still have yet to. I've been posting on it for I think like 2 years now,
Mm,
3 years, and I still have yet to get like a viral video.
right.
So I mean, yeah, I guess whatever it takes. I don't got it yet.
I don't know what it is like, because I mean even I've even talked with like my partner and been like I just don't know, like I just don't know what the fuck is going on here. Like I just
Yeah,
don't understand TikTok.
yeah,
Um, I think it has you have to just be like so hyper
yeah,
and fucking
yeah,
fast pace on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Um,
100%.
do you notice like cause you say you do Instagram, do you do like Instagram Reels then?
No, I don't. I haven't done it yet.
Hmm.
So I was just talking about like stories and
Okay.
stuff, just like kind of um using it to post like the links to the song or
Right.
whatever. But I haven't done Instagram Reels yet. I posted a couple on there, but I haven't seen any any growth really with it. Um, but that's something that I think I definitely should try.
I would say, I mean, for me personally, I've tried, I like I said, I don't really understand TikTok, so I haven't really like dabbled into TikTok that much.
Yeah.
But I'd say like Instagram Reels has worked like pretty decent, and
Yeah.
also surprisingly YouTube Shorts.
Okay, I have tried a couple on there.
Mm.
But I feel like I haven't given it enough of a chance yet
Right.
to really have a say.
Yeah,
But
yeah, YouTube Shorts is also
yeah,
kind of weird, honestly.
yeah, yeah.
So then you run your ad campaigns, and
Hmm.
then usually my gosh, I can't talk. Um, is you just kind of like have like a post, like talking about your song and stuff, and then you boost that up there,
Yep,
basically. Okay.
yeah, yep.
And so, before, obviously, you were kind of just doing like SoundCloud releases and stuff like that. So how has it been now? Because you've been uploading on Spotify.
Hmm.
So how has it been like working like with distributor? Like what distributor do you use? And like tell a little bit about the process of you actually getting your music like up on the Spotify and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. So I use DistroKid.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've been using that um ever since my first release on there. So yeah, DistroKid's been my main one for that. And then for my beats and stuff like that,
Yep.
um, I either use I either find them on BeatStars
Yep.
or I go to YouTube and find them on there. But then
Yep.
it takes me to BeatStars anyway.
Yeah.
So, um, I guess some producers send me beats too.
Hmm.
I think I've used one of the beats that a dude sent me, but otherwise it's all just been off of BeatStars.
Okay.
So I'll just buy the beat, and then I make all of my artwork for my songs. So once that's all ready to go, I'll submit it. Usually I'll submit it like at least 2 weeks before I want it to be released,
Right.
just so I have enough time to
Mhm.
get my plan down for the marketing and stuff like that, and make sure that it actually comes out on time.
Right.
Because I think my first song, I told everyone that it was gonna come out on this Friday, and then I had no idea that you had to wait, And I literally submitted it. I submitted it like 2 days before it was supposed to
Right.
release, and
They were
that
like,
didn't work. Yeah,
yeah, it's not gonna be up by
yeah,
Friday.
yeah, and I was freaking out because yeah, it's whatever, but definitely learned from that.
I mean, honestly though, like you can't have people be blaming you for that. That's really
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're not really gonna know unless you actually like, especially if it's your first time, you're not gonna know until you actually like do it.
yeah, yeah.
But no, I personally, I haven't heard a single other person that hasn't used DistroKid so far.
Okay,
Cause
yeah,
there's like I'm trying to think. There's like CD Baby
yeah.
and TuneCore,
TuneCore, yeah,
but
that's
they
the one.
also like they charge you like a fee per release, I believe, right? Like
I have no clue,
I
to be
think it's
honest.
I think it's like $10 a release or something. But
Oh
like
wow.
yeah, DistroKid, I mean it's like $20 a year or
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah,
and then you're good for the entire time.
yeah. It's a great, great price. I think like that's nothing.
And the nice thing about that is they handle like all your monetization, like anything like that,
Yeah,
which like
yeah,
I don't know how much you really like, because I mean they don't streaming platforms really don't
yeah,
pay
yeah,
anything, honestly. But you take what you can get, right?
yeah, yeah.
So since you have a decent amount of music out at this point, do you have like any like plans for like doing like a little tour, like, or like performing like kind of like around the city or even like around the state? I mean, there's really not like
Yeah.
that many great performance venues, but like have you ever like considered like even going out and doing like a little something or anything?
Yeah, I've definitely considered doing um like a pop-up kind of concert somewhere just like in the city in Bismarck.
Right.
And I've had a couple opportunities. I think there's a spot in Minot too that has like a stage and
Yep.
stuff, and it just never worked out for me, so I still have yet to perform. Um but I haven't really been on that lately too much.
Mm.
I feel like I'm still exploring myself as an artist, so
Right.
I still feel like I need some time to create some more stuff, but no, I don't know. I probably could do a performance
Little
if I
performance.
was yeah, if I was presented the opportunity,
Right.
but I
It
haven't
hasn't
really
like crossed your mind like
yeah,
to really do right now.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely crossed my mind, but I just guess I haven't really acted on it too much,
Right.
so
I mean, it is really hard, honestly, to find places to perform here.
yeah,
And
yeah,
even in the places that you can perform here, it's hard to even like get into those places
yeah,
as
yeah,
like a hip hop. And
exactly.
basically, unless you're a fucking country singer or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
rock,
yeah,
they're not really a fan.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
which is, pretty unfortunate for, like I feel like there's a lot of people that, would actually fuck with hip hop in Bismarck if, they actually had the opportunity to see local artists and shit like
Yeah,
that. Cause like,
yeah.
I mean that there's really no chance to showcase them or like, there's been like a couple like I don't know. I don't want to say like whack shows, but let's just say
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
that maybe like drove some people off.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but in terms of like kind of, exploring your artistry or anything like that, do you kind of think you're gonna go like still like the single route right now, or are you thinking of like maybe doing like oh God, what's the word? Like an exploratory album, kind of like a experimental type thing, or kind of just like keep it apart and do whatever.
So I think my plan as of right now,
Mm,
I'm still gonna stick with the singles for now.
right.
My goal is to at least release something every month.
Hmm.
So I've been trying to stay with that, stay consistent with that. But lately it's been like every 2 weeks I've been putting something out.
That's
So
pretty good.
yeah, I think that's definitely the route I'm gonna stay on for now. Just because I feel like it's the best for growth.
Oh, definitely.
Especially like on TikTok and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I know that Spotify, the algorithm on there definitely likes when you're consistent, so
Hmm.
it's easier to stay on top of that, releasing singles compared to an album, but I've definitely had some visions, some thoughts of albums and stuff, but maybe an EP or something
An
like
EP.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the thing is we live in kind of like the singles era right now, because I
Yeah.
mean, it's just actually just better pretty much to
Yeah.
release singles, because
Yeah.
that's the world we live in at the moment. It's
Mhm.
hard to keep people's attention for an hour-long album,
Yeah.
or which is like why, I mean, doing an EP, it's only probably 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I feel like a good way to make a statement without also like losing people's interest, if
Yeah,
that
for
makes sense.
sure. Yeah.
So, do you have like any like future plans of like, collaborations that you want to do or anything like that, or kind of like what do you see like as you kind of keep exploring your artistry and everything like that, kind of what do you see like being the next step for you, other than just like growing your audience? Like, do you have like a move planned or anything like that, like, and this can be like way down the line, even like
Yeah.
5-6 years in the future, kind of just like where do you see yourself?
Um so yeah, you said collaborations.
Hmm.
So I do have a song in the a couple yeah, a song in the works right now. It's actually finished, but I'm just waiting for the right time to release it.
Okay.
With a guy from Detroit, and he goes by the name of SBR Peasy.
Okay.
So you can find his music anywhere, and he's got a way bigger following than I do, so I think it's definitely good for me.
Right.
So yeah, definitely be looking out for that. And then there's a couple other artists that I've found on TikTok that I'd like to work with.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what would be my next step. I guess just as life goes on, things happen, and
Right.
um, I guess I'm just waiting to see what that next thing is, and maybe that'll propel me to a new state as an artist.
Right.
I feel like that's just like things that have happened in my life. It always seems to help me as a musician.
Right.
It helps bring out that creative side and level me up and as an artist.
Right.
Just yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Are you because I know you were talking about like right now you're buying your beats off BeatStar.
Yeah.
So have you like considered like finding like a producer to work with like to like kind of make you like custom beats and stuff? Because um I don't know, personally like I do like half to like 75% of like my own beats, I'd say, and like it's just like different when you have someone like kind of making it for you because like they're making it like around what you're doing, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So have you ever
yeah.
thought of like, like working with like a producer like that or anything?
Yeah, I definitely have. There's one guy out there that I came across. I think it was just on BeatStars. I used one of his beats
Right.
and then we connected. I forgot how we connected, but I think through Instagram or something, and we've been talking and he's made me like a custom beat before.
Hell yeah.
So, I do have him, but yeah, I don't know. I would like to meet someone someday. I think that would be cool to have, that person.
Right.
Um, yeah, I guess just I'll just keep waiting until
Keep
I meet the
waiting.
right person. Yeah, yeah,
100%. And that's really all you can do.
yeah. See where life takes me, and see who I can meet.
So right now, like you're mixing and doing like all of that stuff yourself, right?
Yep, yep.
Basically post-production. So like how has that been? Like do you kind of like enjoy that process? You enjoy like the writing or the more creative side more or like
Um, yeah, I've definitely been enjoying it more lately, just because I actually know what I'm doing now.
right.
Like before, I was just kind of copy and pasting from
Right.
YouTube, but now I definitely know what I'm doing. So it's been cool to explore with like different sounds and
Hmm.
stuff like that. But yeah, I still do definitely enjoy the creative process. I like doing both.
Right.
So yeah, yep.
Gosh, see, I always get like so stuck on it because like I honestly like once I kind of get done, what's it called? Like writing my song or like kind of like even if I'm like making the beat or whatever, like kind of like figuring out like what I want it to sound like. I like it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes to like go in and do like the post production
Oh
stuff.
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I feel like
100%.
you have to force yourself almost to I mean, you do have to force yourself to do it. That's
Yeah,
like probably like I don't want to say it's the most important part, but like really like the actual like songwriting that part is probably only like 20% of the
yeah,
work, I feel like.
yeah. Honestly,
Cuz I mean, you can record it, but I mean like even I mean, I've sang for like I mean, my pretty much my whole life
mm,
and I even listen to my voice after recording. I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
I literally can't do this. Please, like, just end me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and I have to do like work on it, to make it kind of like actually sound what I want.
yeah. No, it definitely gets like stressful at times. So I
100%.
get that. Yeah, I don't love it, but I'm starting to find parts that I
Right.
like to do.
Do you have like a general like mix process? Like, do you like to do like your vocals and then like kind of start messing with like the other instruments that are in there, or do the other instruments first, add your vocals, or kind of like what do you like to do?
So I don't really mess with any of the instruments or anything like
Right.
that. Kind of just leave the beat how it is.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll put a EQ on it or something if the bass is too much or
Right.
whatever. But um, yeah, usually I just plug in my preset and then just adjust anything that I want from there. And
Okay.
I just kind of mess around with a bunch of different things until I have a certain sound that I like for that song, something that matches that what I'm trying to go for.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, gosh, let's talk about then, because I don't think we've actually touched on like the recent projects that you've released. I think we were talking mostly about old stuff.
Yeah.
So, um, floor is yours again. Basically, tell us about, the new songs that you've been releasing, kind of like what they're about, like what the vibe is, what you're trying to tell people, and,
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah, so I just dropped a song last Friday. It's called Think Too Much.
Okay.
Um so that one's kind of another mix between like hip hop and It kind of has like a pop vibe to it, not really, but just like a melodic hip hop type vibe.
Right.
Um, and that one's just kind of talking about me just like overthinking,
Mhm.
overthinking general things in life that I shouldn't be stressing about. So it's kind of just talking about like letting go and not holding on to things and
Right.
not, I shouldn't be stressing about these things. Like that's what that one talks about.
So like definitely wrote at a point like in your life, where you're, trying to kind of basically move on to the next
Yeah,
stage and kind of
yeah,
like, tell yourself that, hey, it's all right,
yeah,
like you don't got to be stressed about this shit at all.
yeah,
Um, that's a good ass fucking message.
yeah. Thank
And
you, bro.
what was that one called again? One more time?
Think too
Think
much.
Too Much. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
And that one's everywhere, right? That one's like
yeah,
Spotify, Apple Music, all that shit.
yeah. You can
Okay.
find it anywhere.
So, guys, Think Too Much.
Yep.
Swift, Two Eyes. Don't
Mhm.
forget. Go listen to that. What else do you have that you've had out recently?
So no recent projects or EPs or
Mhm.
anything like that. Like I said, it's just been singles. Um, Another one that I previously recently just released. It's called Ghost.
Ghost.
Yeah, and that one's out on all platforms as well. That's probably one of my favorites that I've made so far.
Okay.
And that's just kind of just talking about going ghost
Hmm.
and just finding my own direction. Um yeah, there's a lot of real emotion in it.
Right.
And you can definitely hear my singing in there. It's explores my voice a lot, so in my vocal range and stuff like that and the things
Okay.
that I can do, so yeah.
What about that one like makes it your favorite song? Like, do you just feel like you have the most connection to it, or?
Um yeah, I just feel like everything comes together really well as
Right.
far as like the beat goes, and then um just everything, it just feels whole, feels like a complete song to me. And
Hmm.
um yeah, just the vibe of it I feel like is different than anything else I've ever made, so
Right. It
yeah,
just hits.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
for like lack of a better word, honestly.
yeah, yeah,
I definitely understand that
yeah,
because I mean and I don't know, cause I kind of like when I'm like listening to a song or like when I'm kind of like trying to get it ready for release or whatever, I feel like the moments that like I know I'm ready is like when I'm almost sick of it at the end. But
yeah,
then like once you like put it out there, it's like a whole
yeah,
like I feel like refreshment because
yeah,
it's like now you get to see it instead of just you having to listen to yourself over and over and over and over again. It's like you get to hear what other people are like
yeah,
thinking about,
yeah,
like the message that you're trying to put out there and shit like that.
yeah, 100%.
So like in terms of like have you had ever any like fan interactions or anything like that like that's like happened to you at all?
Yeah, I've had like not I don't know if they were being serious or
Right.
not, that's always kind of thing that I think about when someone approaches me, like,
Right.
are they just fucking with me or are they
Right.
being serious? But yeah, I've had people come up to me and be like, "Yo, are you Swift?"
Hmm.
That's just like around here, obviously, like in Bismarck and stuff.
Right.
Like at the gym, there's been a couple guys come up to me, stuff like that, but that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I definitely, bro, honestly, I totally understand that because I mean, even like, I mean, I've had that shit happen to me before. Like, even when I've just been like, I don't know, like practicing fucking boxing, bro, and like people come up to me, they're like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I see you doing that. It's like, bro, I can't tell if you're like fucking with me
Yeah,
right now
yeah,
or if you're like fucking with me,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
um, but I think that's like, I feel like a lot of people, and I mean, this is true, I feel like for anybody that's like uh kind of like I don't want to say like I'm just gonna say it, an online personality because I don't really know
Yeah, yeah,
like how else to label it at the moment.
yeah,
But like I feel like they forget that, bro. It's like a actual fucking person like
yeah,
that you're
yeah,
talking to, especially like with art and like because you're putting so much into it, bro. I mean,
yeah.
like you're literally like letting people into your mind like in
Mhm.
a very very intimate way
Yep.
where like I mean, it definitely can be discouraging, like if people are like, like not really like understanding
Being,
that that's what's
yeah,
going on, or they're
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like, oh, blah blah blah, like that's just like shit that you're making up. It's like, nah, bro, I'm like,
Really going,
I'm
yeah,
spilling my soul to you
yeah,
right now, dog.
for
Like,
real,
what the fuck?
yeah,
I think that's like honestly one of the hardest parts of being an artist is like you're
yeah,
basically being vulnerable to
yeah,
so many
oh
people,
yeah,
so many
yeah,
people.
100%. It definitely gets easier with time though.
Right?
Like at first it was really hard, but now it's definitely gotten a lot easier.
It's just like
I
fuck
don't
it.
really think about it as much anymore, but
Right?
yeah, there's definitely some things where I'm like, should I say this? I don't
Yeah.
know, it might be too much, but yeah.
But then like in the end, you're like, you know what? It's my fucking song,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm gonna say what I want
Yeah.
to say, right?
And it might hit harder for someone else, so that's something I always think about. Like maybe that could be the line that um blows you up or
Right?
whatever.
Or like you said, like the line that like people like can truly like relate to and they
Yeah,
like feel
yeah,
you on that and shit.
yeah,
Cause like, I mean, the thing is that, I mean, I don't know if you feel this way, but like for me personally, the reason why like I do like do make like music talking about those things is obviously like I want to share my experience to like hopefully like help someone else like
yeah,
relate and know that they're not necessarily alone in what they're going through, like they
yeah,
have people that understand,
yeah,
kind of what's happening to them and
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Music is just awesome in general. Like, being able to connect with people you don't even know.
Hmm.
It's crazy, and yeah, I like helping people out. So
Straight up.
yeah,
And I mean, it's a good way to even just like, because I mean, I have a tendency to like compartmentalize things, so it's a really good way to even just like let myself get the shit out, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yep,
And like kind of process that.
yep,
Um, Especially if you're feeling stuck, like it's
yeah.
a good ass
Oh
fucking way
yeah,
to
100%.
cook through that.
Yeah,
Trying to think. Hmm.
yeah. There's definitely been some times in my life where like it's helped me get through whatever it was that I was going through.
Right.
Um, where I was just creating and it was all, real emotion. Like I said before, when those things happen, I feel like that's like it's good, but it's also, it sucks going through it while you're
Right.
going through it, but it's so good if you're like a musician or someone
True.
that can express it because you look back on it and it's like, wow, like I overcame that. Whether that's, a bad moment or like a happy time in your life.
Right.
Um, yeah.
It's all fuel for the fire.
Yeah,
All fuel for
exactly.
the fire.
Exactly.
No, it's uh like so interesting that you say that because like I can't remember where I read this, but it was like a saying where it's like artists are basically like they go through like self-inflicted pain, I guess,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like um a lot of the time like they don't really know how to like work through like the feelings like in an I don't want to say in a normal way, but in a normal
yeah,
way. So it's like, kind of like hindsight looking back or whatever, and you have to like kind of like reflect on like what you have done or like, how, certain things may have happened, and then that's when you like actually get the growth, and that's like
yeah,
what really helps you out,
yeah.
is that looking back.
Mm, it makes sense. Yeah,
No, I literally I mean, I personally don't think that I I mean, I there's a lot of songs that I even write just for myself, like probably that no one will ever honestly
yeah,
see,
yeah,
but just to like get shit out,
yeah,
just
yeah.
to have
I've
that,
definitely done that before too.
right?
Yeah,
And you're like, I'm locking these ones away
yeah,
because otherwise I'm getting sent to the
yeah.
psych ward, bro.
For real. For real.
Oh man. So, I'm not sure like what time we're at here, but is there like any like last minute things that you think you want to talk about or anything like that?
Um, I don't know. I'll just say stay tuned. On my journey.
Right.
I'm gonna keep releasing music. Always gonna be consistent with that forever. Never gonna stop.
Never
So
gonna stop.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't really have any projects planned or
Right.
anything big. I do have some really really good singles coming out
Hell
though in
yeah.
the future that I feel really good about. So
When does
I'm
the next
excited
single
to
come
get
out then?
those. So I actually have a collab coming out August 2nd,
Okay.
I think. Yeah. So that'll be the next drop.
Okay.
And
And then
then
after that?
yeah, after that, probably 2 weeks again, and
Okay.
then another single. I'm thinking so.
Okay. So kind of just keep watching like
Yeah,
every 2 weeks, and then, you'll see some new content from Swift, see some new
yeah,
drops.
yeah.
Any music videos or anything coming out with those singles or anything like that?
Not as of right now.
Okay.
I would love to do a video, but I don't really have um anyone yet for that. So
Right.
I do have someone, but he's still working on a couple things to get ready for that. So once we
100%.
get that figured out, that'll be awesome because it's one of my best friends. So once he gets all the equipment and stuff that he needs, and we can start working together, and that's something that I definitely want to start getting into, just
100%.
as an artist too, just like the music videos. And I think it's really helps bring a song together. Yeah,
I think like you said, it really does. Like once you add the music video, especially because you're a creative person,
yeah,
it gives you, I mean, you can basically do anything you fucking
yeah,
want and you
yeah,
can, show anything you want or anything like that.
yeah,
Um I think it's so much fun.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And then one last thing before we go.
yeah.
I've been asking like everyone kind of like any advice or pieces of wisdom or if you have like a saying that you'd like to kind of share with everyone to just like, help them or like, send them on their way or anything like that or just
Um,
anything that you feel,
hmm,
honestly.
trying to think. Um, I guess just be yourself.
Mhm.
With whatever you're doing. I just think that you being yourself and being creative and doing what you want to do, keep doing that. Nobody can tell you anything. Um, I just think it's awesome. Like whenever I see art, I just think it's an awesome thing being able to express yourself in that way, and um I don't think anybody should try to hate on that at all. Just think it's an awesome thing that everyone should be able to do, whether that's music or anything like that.
Right.
Um Trying to think of anything else. I don't know. Yeah, just be yourself. Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah, I don't
Find a
know.
nice little outlet for yourself to,
Yeah. Yeah.
to kind of express who you really are, I guess, is the
Yeah.
best way.
And like I said before, like if you're going through something, it might suck in the moment, but after that, you'll definitely see a lot of growth with whatever you put your time into. Like for me, it was music, and like just me going through some of the toughest times of my life. That's
Mhm.
where I've noticed the most growth
Okay.
in my music. So I think that if you're going through something, just put your time into something, and it'll pay off for sure.
So kind of take every single challenge as a lesson
Yes. Yeah.
and an
Yeah.
opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And what a great place to end the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to DK After Dark.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swift,
Yeah.
for being
Thank
on the
you, bro.
episode.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Sir.